Hello, varlets. I literally just woke up and saw that the PC gaming show revealed the Skitarii gameplay trailer. And to be honest, I forgot this was coming because it came out at like 3 am for me. Anyway, this trailer gives us a glimpse at what our Skitarius is going to look like in-game as well as how some of the weapons will play out. The first thing we see is your character rotating its hand around and looking at it with intrigue. I guess this could either mean it's the completion cutscene after your character has been fully created, or it's an idle animation. But judging from the mechanical skull in the background, our Skitarius has likely just finished cooking and is fresh out of the oven. We also get a scene which shows the Skitarius walking on its own, and we are seeing its full body for the first time too. And boy does it look tall. Seems like it might be at least a full head taller than our regular human-sized characters, but still shorter than Ogrins. This extra height is going to be helpful when it comes to using its weapons, of which we are shown 3 of them in action. Sort of. The first one we get to see in combat is the arc rifle. 2 things you'll notice as it starts firing. First, it's firing quite fast, almost like the shotguns we have in the game already. This is good because it means it's at least going to be a fairly responsive weapon to play around with. The other thing you'll notice is the sound effect. Now, I don't know if it's because the background music is too loud, but it feels like it lacks a little bit of oomph. There's the sound of the electrical fry, which matches how it's scrambling the enemy's electrical impulses or something, and they just go limp on the floor. But I was hoping for the boom of thunder to be more present, more bass perhaps. This showcase also suggests that the arc rifle in fact does not arc chain lightning between enemies and doesn't appear to have an AoE component. However, do remember that from a dev blog before that we are getting a new arc status effect which can trigger chain lightning effects. So maybe this is how the arc rifle will interact with chain lightning, or if it will have it at all. Too bad we didn't get to see it play out here. The next weapon we get to see, and more importantly, here in action, is the galvanic rifle. Let's just play this part out with sound first. Yep, they added that divinely satisfying metallic ping that you associate with the M1 Garand. For this alone, I hope we get a bunch of useful reload-related talents and blessings so that reloading the galvanic rifle is actually going to be a treat for both gameplay and the ears. The other thing we can see here is the fire rate of the weapon. It fires pretty fast, which again means this will feel like a very responsive weapon in our hands. We've already got a bit of an indicator about its damage as well from the release trailer before. We know that its weak spot multiplier is going to be around 70% or so, which at the very least means that it is going to be a decent precision weapon to play with. Of course, this can change since we don't yet know what stats are available on the weapon, like if it has a finesse stat or not. The last weapon we get to see in action is the Shock Maul, or Arc Maul. The highlight of this shot is the electrical explosion that comes from the maul hitting enemies. What is worth noting is that the effect is activated twice, at the very least, meaning that this isn't something like the Crusher where it's a one-time activation only. This appears to be closer to the Power Sword where perhaps after a set number of hits, the charges run out and the weapon reverts to its default state. I'm also noticing that the impact doesn't create an AoE effect of any sort, so we can probably rule out any blast component to it. Instead, we're seeing some electrical effects happening, but I'm unsure as to what the actual effect of the maul is going to be. Maybe something to do with the new arc status? Hard to say when it's only wailing on groaners. Anyhow, that's all we've got to glimpse from the trailer, or teaser rather, since I wouldn't call that much of a trailer. I'm really excited for this class to drop so I can dig into everything about it. If you want to stay tuned with more Darktide stuff and get breakdowns and deep dives for the Skitarii class, consider subscribing to follow along for more. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one, varlets.